Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. All praises are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We seek His help and we beg for His forgiveness. Whomever Allah guides, there's no person, place, or thing that can lead astray. And whomever Allah allows to be led astray, there's no person, place, or thing that can guide to the straight path. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah alone, without any partners. And I bear witness that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a servant and the seal of all prophets that came before him. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu taqullaha haqqa tuqatihi wa la tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. Dear brothers and sisters, I advise you as well as I advise myself, fear Allah as He should be feared, and die not except in a state of submission to His will. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu awfu bil uqud. O ye who believe, fulfill all obligations, contracts, covenants, first with our creators, as well as amongst ourselves. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu uzkuru Allah dhikran kathiran wasabihu bukratan wasilan. O ye who believe, celebrate the praises of Allah and do this often, and glorify Him morning and evening. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be called upon to fill in for the resident Imam of the New Africa, Masjid Tariq Al-Amin Boyd. I am Joseph F. Clark, and I'm the assistant man of the Fifth Ward Islamic Center for Human Development and also the founder of Allah House. Today's subject matter deals with humility. When we think of the word humility, I always thought humility was acting a certain way. I didn't know anything about humility being a response, an action. One of the hadiths that our beloved Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, the one who has strength is not the one who is strong in stature and muscle, but the one who can control his emotions. And we're in a time now where the world is extremely sensitive. It's a lot of sensitivity going on, you know. I mean, all the conversations, everywhere I walk into, I hear the same conversations. You know, we know what the big picture is right now. And, you know, everybody's giving their opinions, you know, but I think of the qadr of Allah, you know, and I think about how He creates situations and circumstances in order for us to grow. And a lot of times we can't grow because we keep wanting to go, give our opinion. We don't want to listen. Can't nobody teach me nothing. And He also said, if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. You know, and it's extremely hard for me to keep my mouth shut sometimes. You know, Allah is Al-Jabbar. You know, He's the compeller. You know, He compels His individuals or His believers, or the ones who say they believe, into situations and force them to grow, right? And in the process, He sustains them at the same time restoring them. You know, I've really been getting deep into the attributes of Allah. You know, and up until this point, and I it's kind of embarrassing to say that, but since I've gotten into His attributes, I've been, it's like, wow, you know, and you know, it's information without application is just information, you know, and He's also Al-Kafid, right? Al-Kafid means the reducer, you know, when the attributes to reduce those who say they believe, it brings up the mind to lower someone, right? To reduce them to a certain state or abase them. Allah is al-Kafid in Arabiya, meaning the abaser, the one who lowers whoever He wills by His destruction, and the one who raises whomever He wills by His endowment. I just think of the story of Musa alayhi salam and Pharaoh. You know, you got two sinners coming to contact with each other. You know, prior to him getting there, you know, Musa alayhi salam had murdered somebody, right? Not Astaghfirullah. May Allah be pleased with him. That's, yeah, alayhi salam is coming there. And he was reduced to a state to where he was in a strong sense of forgiveness. He felt bad about what he did, but he had an attitude problem, you know. And a lot of us come into this religion with that type of behavior, you know, especially coming from the streets, you know, and being molded and conditioned in an incarcerated environment. You know, there's a lot of undoing we have to do. You know, I'm a pickle. I'll never be a cucumber again, right? But with this religion, I have the ability to live like a cucumber again, feeling like a pickle. I don't know if y'all get that. Sometimes I still want to do things that I used to do because it used to bring me a sort of power, you know what I mean, which I don't have. So I have to be willing to humble myself and realize, hey, I'm powerless over people, places, and things, right? And there was a story of a drunk horse thief, right? He used to always steal horses and get caught, right? So one day something happened, and he stopped drinking. So once you stop drinking, what do you have? You can answer inside your head. You have a sober heart state. Yeah. See, this religion is not just designed for rituals. And our Imam has told us rituals are designed to preserve the knowledge, right? So these rituals designed us to the fact that, hey, I'm doing this ritual because of. So I can't forget where I come from because it lets me know where I've already been. And it's been a life of pain, toils, and struggles like the Quran speaks about, right? I've struggled with my behavior. I've struggled with my attitude problem. I've struggled in addiction. I've struggled trying to maintain a household. So the struggle is inevitable. So I get an opportunity to choose my struggle. I can struggle doing the right thing, or I can struggle doing the wrong thing, right? And I bring up this word humility. Let me touch more on this particular word that I'm pretty sure everybody can give a different description. But it concerning ourselves with humility, right? And what the practice of it can mean to us. Practicing humility. I'm not a humble person. You know what I mean? By nature, because I have a certain urge in me to be better than everybody else. You know, that's why in Qiyam I have to establish the the ability to stay right size. Because I want to challenge you. I want to debate you. I want to talk you. I want to have the best food. You know, everybody's in competition, right? But without some degree of humility, no Muslim can maintain peace at all, right? I have to have the ability to stay right size in situations where I really want to say something. Because what's more important is pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not myself. But I've been pleasing myself a long time. So that's something natural that comes to mind. It's something that I do naturally. But when I find myself being in conflict with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has built for me, it's my duty to get back up. You know, the Imam used to call it being regardful. We call it taqwa. We say being regardful. Regardful means I get back on guard. I'm off balance because I'm getting in tune with brothers. I'm backbiting. I'm slandering. And a lot of us don't just go through the day taking a spot check inventory of ourselves when we not chilling with the rest of the people, right? Unless they develop much more of this precious quality that may be required just for a peace of mind, they still have a much chance of becoming truly happy. Without it, they cannot live to much useful purpose or in adversity be able to summon the faith that can meet any emergency. Talking about humility, right? See, I'm cool. I'm gonna stay right side as long as I'm getting something out to deal. But tell me no. Do something that I don't think we have to be doing and see if I'm really as humble as I say I am, right? And Musa alayhi salam experienced that when he killed their brother, right? But after he done it, he felt bad. A lot of us do things, you know. I know I've been down there plenty of times. Every time I got in the backseat of that police car, I just felt bad. I was remorseful, saying that I wasn't gonna never do it again, right? But it's just sometimes I must suffer from CRS or something. Can't remember stuff because I forget about the rides and all the things that brought me why, you know, I had some memories, right? And I think about all that stuff, and then as soon as I get out into the streets in 30 days, I ain't thinking about that no more. I'm trying to come up, you know what I mean? But I need to get on my feet. But you ain't did no house cleaning. What you mean you need to get on your feet? I'm still a gangster. I just took the shahada, went through the motions of being in prison and came home, right? And now I'm talking about I need a job. I ain't did no house cleaning. But the Quran tells us in Surah, let me see here. The Quran tells us those who are successful in this religion. Well, nothing, why am I? So why I have? By the soul and the proportion and order given to it. Hamaha, Fujuraha, Watakwaha. And its enlightenment as to its right and its wrong. We know what we're doing wrong. What are we doing about it, right? Kad aflaha man zakaha, right? Truly he succeeds that purifies it. I have to purify myself. The Imam can't purify me. The Imam Wadi Muhammad, may Allah be pleased with him, gave me the information on how I can purify myself. He gave me a lot of information in his books, right? As I studied his information. And he spoke about criticizing our own thinking, right? And how we needed to do this and do that. So I went through a program that helped me change my condition. And then I came into information about his language. And it's like everything is just clicking now. Now I got into the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything is clicking. So now I'm speaking 3 different languages. I'm speaking the street language, I'm speaking the Quranic language, and I'm speaking the secular language, and I'm putting them all on the same path, right? And they saying the same thing. So a lot of us we're caught up in the language of what we are used to, right? And the Imam also taught us in his book, I think it's I don't know, but anyway, he said he had a subject matter that says about we have to create a new language to bring them back, right? See, I had to change people, places, and things in order to get where I am now. And a lot of us want to hold on to our old ideas, and unless we let go absolutely, we're going to keep on reverting. We're going to keep on falling in that boat. Is that a bad thing? No, just keep trying. But at the same time, he says, so you have to take them out of the language environment that they have been shaped and formed in. Right? This is the man talking, right? From out of their original nature and create a new language environment for them that will bring them back to have faith like a baby. That's why we go to Hajj, right? We go back to Hajj, and we go back counterclockwise because we're trying to go back to our original state. And we symbolize that by the garb we have on, right? We want to be like babies again. And we want to go through all that trash from our artifact. You know, we want all that stuff I did, I ain't told nobody about it. I get out to go take that and dump it on the mountain. Sincerely and ask Allah to do it. But I have to be sincere about not trying to do it again. Will I fall short? Maybe so. Just keep on struggling to change that, right? But without no form of humility or honesty or sincerity with myself, I won't be able to do that, right? So humility as a word and as an idea has a very bad time in our world today, right? Not only is the idea misunderstood, but it's also intensely disliked. You know, even the politicians are not humble. Everybody trying to find something about saying. I mean, it's like politics is about bashing another person. You know, this is not Islamic, right? But it's also a reality. Right? We are the best example set for mankind. So there's a burden upon us. There's an obligation upon us to wherever we are, we have to express this religion through our actions and our personality and our behavior, right? And I'm always about people, around people debating, and I don't ever be saying nothing, because Prophet Muhammad said, if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Yeah, I got my opinion. I know who I would vote for, right? Based on what the other person is trying to do and what they're pushing. And I was looking at a little bit of I just looked at a little bit of the Democratic convention last night. And there was some females on there saying something about one of the opponents. And what they said she was promoting, I can't vote for you. Because of the future of our children, I can't vote for that. I can't push that agenda. You know, I ain't worried about because hurt people, right? And I can't allow a resentment that I'm struggling with, something that happened to me that this person remind me about, it's making me mad all over again, and I don't know why I'm mad, right? I have to make a decision based on the healthiness of our environment, the future of our children, right? And it's like, man, I got to take the less of the two evils, but I know this one here is not pleasing to Allah, so I can't support this. I don't care about no color barriers or who's racist or whatever. What agenda is going to help us maintain our ability to be Muslim in this country? You know, and that's another story. But Al-Kafid, the reducer, the abaser, the lowerer, and I spoke of the Musa alayhi salam and Pharaoh, and I spoke earlier about them both being sinners. Musa alayhi salam was one who was remorseful about what he did, and Pharaoh had an ego problem. He was an egomaniac. He wanted to control everything, right? And he refused to accept the information which Musa alayhi salam came with, right? But in the Quran, in Surah 56, 3, which means, and I say al-kafid, right? Kafidatun, rafiatun. Many will it bring low, which it did for Musa alayhi salam. No, which it did for Pharaoh. And many will it exalt. So through Musa alayhi salam's willingness to humble himself, to profess tawbah, ask for forgiveness for what he had did, and willingness to go where he can grow, he had to leave the area in which he was, right? And go to a different area in which he can grow and develop and be sincere about showing the fact that, hey, I'm sorry for what I did. You know, I'll come back some other time, but I got to get away and get myself spiritually grounded before I can come back carrying the message for the God of my understanding who has delivered me. So now it's time for me to go back and warn. I got to go back and warn those who I left behind. You know, in the field of Islam Center for Human Development, we established that center based on us being in the environment in which we come from and made sincere attempts to change and been living productive members of society for years now, right? And we want to carry that hope back to the brothers inside. We want to carry that information back to the hood, but not by chastising nobody, not by criticizing nobody, not by demonizing nobody, but just through action, being present, being an ear, being understanding, sharing my experiences, my strengths, and my hopes with those who are still struggling. Letting them know that I speak that language because that's where I come from. But I'm giving glory to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah tells us in the Quran, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. We have certainly created man in the best of stature. Right? ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ سَافِلِينَ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ فَلَهُمْ أَجْرٌ غَيْرُ مَمْنُونٍ. Then we return him to the lowest of the low. So we come into this world and we young and we vibrant and we doing things, right? And then we get knocked down to our knees. Some of us through dysfunction. Some of us through studying and trying to be, a doctor, a lawyer. We get beat back down into submission to let us know that, hey, this ain't about you. This ain't about you being better than nobody else, right? Except for those who believe and do righteous deeds, for they will have a reward uninterrupted. So what does righteous deeds have to do with what I'm trying to bring home? See, I don't care what it is I'm doing. I have to be doing something to benefit somebody else in the process. This is Islam in a nutshell. This is the life of the prophets, of all prophets that came before us. They had been favored by their Rabb, but they was more concerned about those who didn't have what they had. They expressed of one for their brothers what they wanted for themselves through their actions, right? And those who were not in agreement, they went that way, and as I just spoke, they were brought low. And for those who were sincere, who was willing to put in the work, was exalted. But they maintained a sense of being regardful with their Rabb. Assalamu alaikum. In conclusion, brothers and sisters, staying right size is a very difficult thing to do because we all have something to say. We really do, But it's how we say it that makes the difference. It's how we respond to whatever's taking place in the matter. How we, because it ain't about me. Once I accepted this religion, and it's been a lot of pain and struggling to maintain where I'm at right now in life. And I still ain't to the halfway mark yet, right? But I focus more on pleasing Allah more than anything because I'm still wired a little, Sometimes I have to catch myself and bring myself back to the fold, which requires honesty, right? Which requires open-mindedness, which requires willingness, because I'm bumping into people who look like me, talk like me, but they ain't got the same views, right? And it's not my duty to impose my views on them. My duty is to respond to the situation that's taking place and try to give them a little bit of this religion without saying a word, And if you look at it, our Imam has taught us, and I'll give you a little bit about what I'm saying. He said it has to be a training program, right? And sometimes we use words that people really just don't try to grasp because of the language, right? When you hear the word program, you think it's something other than this religion. And the religion ain't nothing but a divine program to keep us in check, to keep us lined up in proper order. But the man said it has been a training program to put us in the condition necessary to be successful against the challenges. and all these challenges that we're facing today, right? Once we get our own life together and we feel confident that once I am organized, I am self-composed for the job at hand. See the inner cleaning, the jihad al-nafs, that Prophet Muhammad spoke about the hardest one. Once I get this one in order, then I can deal with what's going on the outside. But if I don't get this one right, I can't be effective. I can't transmit something that I don't have. I can't be if I'm impatient, how can I be patient with other people? If I'm intolerant, how can I be intolerant with other people? And it says, I am self-composed for the job at hand internally. What I just said, I said it too soon before I read into the word. He said, once we get our own life together and we feel confident that I am organized, right? I am self-composed for the job at hand internally. The inside job needs to take place, which requires humility in the first place. I have to surrender, right? And then we are ready to join those who are similarly constituted internally, which are examples of our, prophets, men of God, our leaders today, to get the big job done. So first things first, I have to surrender. I have to humble myself. I have to respond in a way that's attractive, right? The same way our beloved Prophet did. People were attracted to him about how he responded to situations and things. He never did panic. He never did go out. He never, things. And that's why he came to perfect something that we don't have, and we don't have good character. A lot of us don't come to this religion with good character. A lot of us even not given good character in this religion when we're born with the Qurans in our hand because of feeling like we're better than others. It's not really a mental thought, but it can be expressed through the actions of people that you come into contact with on a daily basis. And evil thoughts are not harmful to faith, and there will be no punishment on them. See, there are a lot of things going on that we don't talk about, but it's in the hadith. That's the beautiful thing about finding this information and realizing, hey man, this is going on way before. So what we're going through now is normal, right? And it was related by Abu Hurairah that the Apostle of God, said, God has forgiven my followers evil thoughts. See, we got so many things that are being subliminally implanted in our minds and consciousness that it's crazy, And he said, God has forgiven my followers evil thoughts and misgivings, and there will be no punishment on them until they are acted upon or uttered by the tongue. As long as I don't say nothing, it don't matter what I'm thinking. If I don't say nothing and I don't act upon what I'm thinking, I'm good. But I'm dealing with these sick thoughts, right? I need to find somebody to talk to about it. Because Shaitan to get up in here with me, because he already been here, right? And I'm having conversation for myself with somebody that's trying to get me on the outside of that door, but I know on the outside of that door ain't where I'm supposed to be. So that's why I have to reach out to my brothers, right? I have to go where people understand. I have to talk to the imam. I have to talk to somebody I know that understands, not just somebody to talk to, because everybody don't understand. And it says, that was Bukhari and Muslim, right? That was one. There's another that narrates that Abdullah bin Abbas, once a person came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, sometimes such wicked ideas come to mind that I would prefer to be burnt down and reduced to charcoal than to give utterance to them. You ever seen somebody just thought something real bad about them? And you don't want to feel that way, but you wonder why you feeling that way, right? He said, the Prophet replied, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, praise be to Allah who turned back the matter towards thought and sentiment. Just keep it in here. All we have to simply do is seek refuge to Allah from the evil whispers of Shaitan, because that's where the thoughts are coming from. He's whispering through our music. He's whispering through our sitcoms, our podcasts, our opinions of others. Shaitan is steady whispering. And we're reacting to these thoughts that are being supplanted into our mindset. And unconsciously, we are speaking on it. Unconsciously, we're giving our opinions on things that we don't know nothing about. We don't know the truth of the matter, because they say investigate. When somebody comes to you with news, ascertain the truth. So the best thing I can do is be quiet. I sure want to give my opinion, But I have to really be quiet because I'm gonna get caught up in the whirlwind of giving my opinions, or should I say backbiting, right? Or slandering somebody that ain't doing what they say they're doing. But if I just listen to what their agenda is and what they're trying to do, then they'll let me know what their motive is. You know, are you really for the people, or are you really just trying to push the agenda for those who are funding your campaign? But with that, brothers and sisters, we always like to start on time and end on time. I don't want to go over, which I've already have. I'm gonna give a little bit, another little bit of what our imam has told us about. I was doing I can't find this video for some reason, but maybe about 4 years ago, the imam had a lecture on YouTube when he was in Arkansas, and he was talking about criticizing our thinking. You know, how we have to really change our thinking in order to really get where we really want to go. And he said, and there was a question asked during this lecture. I think the NAACP was there, the Ward Muhammad community was there, there was some other organizations there. And it was a question asked. What can we do about the souls of the people, right? And he said, when we start to search our own selves, right? To search our own thinking, these are his words, right? To criticize our own thinking, to look for trouble in our own thinking, to look into our own thinking, to see how much our own thinking is influenced by those things, those influences, and those ideas that we ourselves are hurt by and reject. See, there's still a lot of trash up in our hearts. And you speak about the hadiths, about purifying our hearts, because there are a lot of things in our heart. I still feel a certain way about certain people. The only way I can get over that is to be around those people, to see that there are people just like me. If I got a problem with the white man, I may need to give me some white friends, so I can lose that stereotype of all white people are evil. It's things we have to do to overcome what we think, but we don't have we don't have the knowledge and wisdom to apply. You know, many times we ourselves are affected by those things we are fighting. There's much more, but I'm just grateful for the person that told me maybe to start studying in the Mary's language, right? And connecting with something that I've always been thinking, but I just couldn't put my finger on or able to comprehend. And when we come into this religion, it's really to get to the other side. And we can't get caught up on what's going on. No, I'm not going to deny myself the share of dunya, but I got a lot of work to do to maintain favor with my Creator. You know, and I can't get caught up on what's going on because He's the one co-signing what's happening. And if it's happening for a reason. So if there's a problem, how do the Muslims get into the solution? Right? And that's the most important thing we need to understand. There's a problem and there's a solution. If I'm steady in the problem, then it's going to continue to be a problem. But if I get into the solution, which means I get involved wherever I'm at, whoever I'm closest to, Prophet Muhammad said, we should eat from the food that's closest to us. So just make sure where I'm at, what's going on, whether it's in my family, whether it's in my workplace, wherever I go, try to give these people a piece of this religion without saying a word. If there's anything that I said that may be pleasing, or you feel like it's good, like you get that honor, glory, and praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If there's anything that I may have said or pronounced or whatever, I ask you to please forgive me for my laziness. And I ask you to please make dua for me that I continue to have the courage to come before you, sharing reminders on things that's going on that I know that may be a community issue or problem. You know, I'm only trying to do what I think Allah wants me to do, and that's share my experience, strength, and hope with brothers and sisters that I come into contact with. We ask that Allah please have mercy upon us, our families, our children, and protect them in this time of dysfunction and confusion, creating more doubt. And we ask that you please protect them from the evil whispers of Shaitan. And we ask that you please give us emotional stability and understanding to deal with any situation that your Qadr puts us in. That you give us the courage to do the next right thing in the process and think past our emotions and base our decisions on what we know and how we feel. Now come into Salah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amin. خلاص إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. ربنا لك الحمد. الله أكبر. 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 الله أكبر.